Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about a very important. This always happens. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about part-time in the UK, which is like I think everybody would love to know about, and I'm very happy to share my experiences of working part-time in the UK. In 2023, I was a September intake student, as I said. So before I went there, I watched a lot of videos, a lot. I'm not even exaggerating. I think the last few months or the last 3-4 months before I went to the UK, I have been watching each and every video about how to find a part-time, where to find one, what kind of a part-time will it be, how will I get paid, because I had no idea. I really didn't want to rely entirely on my parents and be like pay. That wouldn't make sense. So I was really into it more than like I knew I would study and everything because it's going to happen. But in terms of part-time, I was not very sure as to will I get it or not, how will the place be, how will the experience be, because the part-time is something that we don't do here back in India, right? The type of part-time that we do in the UK. And I took notes as to what should be done, and I followed it properly. And to be honest, I landed my first part-time job in 10 days after I went to the UK. So as I said, I started watching YouTube videos, and I started applying from when I was in India itself. August to July, I started applying, and I did get notifications from university side saying that there are some openings in the university itself, because a lot of people do that. It's really nice, right? You get to work in the space that you learn in. That's to like administrator jobs, library assistants, student union work and everything. I did apply to all of them, but I didn't get through any. I tried and I didn't get it. What I did was, okay, a lot of people said, go there and then try. That's more effective. I took like 30-40 copies of my CV and I went. I applied on all the top part-time websites. Like I'll drop it here: Harry, Reed, Indeed, all the top websites I applied on. I was open to any type of role. I was not very specific as to no, I won't do this, no, I won't do this type. I was open to any work because there I think they value your skills and how open are you to do the specific work, rather than being very constrained and being like I can't do these kind of work. There are people who said that, and I think by the end of the day they didn't find an opportunity to work at all, because that's not how you're supposed to be. I mean, if you're restraining yourself from working in a particular field, then I don't think you're going to gain experience at all. As soon as I landed there, I applied for my for the NI number. So as soon as I applied, I think I got it in like a week. You can just say that you've applied and you have the application number, so they'll check that and it's fine, you're good to go. I took my copies of CV, and this is like the most effective way, I must say. You can apply on websites, you can do whatever online, but it will work for some people. It didn't work for me. From day one, the next day morning, I took all my CVs, the copies of CVs, and I walked around the Birmingham city like crazy. I went to every shop that I saw. I was okay with kitchen assistants, I was okay with cooking, I was okay with being a waitress, I'm okay with baristas. There are a lot of opportunities out there, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna take any job that I get. A lot of people said no, a lot of people said give your CV, we'll let you know if there are any openings. So I dropped my CV. Some people really keep it safe, and in case if there are any openings, they refer your number and they call you and they be like, you had given your CV, you can come and discuss if you're still interested. I did that every single day. It was a day prior to my class getting started. If my classes are getting started tomorrow, it was today. And I went again, I was going around. If this is my accommodation, this was a restaurant. It was called Walk and Go. It's a restaurant right in the streets of my university. It's a Chinese restaurant. So they were like, yeah, we need a helper, so you can come in and see if you're interested. I said, okay, I'll come. And I was all decked up and I went there, and they were like, Sneha, you're gonna work as a chef, so you don't have to be this stressed. And I was like, okay, I didn't know. I mean, I like cooking. I enjoy cooking. Even at home, I cook really well. So I was okay to learn. It took a lot of time for me to understand what is what, how do I cook it, how long is it gonna take me to cook it. First week I was in my training place where I was not paid. Then my wage rate, yes, so about that, they paid me 11.44 pounds per hour. Now it is, I think, 12.21. They increase the rate every April. I worked there until I finished my studies. I was not given enough hours, to be honest. I wanted 20 hours a week because that would be very much sufficient. I really liked work there, and by the end of, I worked there for a year, right? September 2023 to September 2024. Yeah, so for 1 year, I think I learned a lot. Managing customers, talking to them, cooking really quickly, how to manage rush, crowd. I've had like emotional breakdowns, like panic attacks and everything. But people, there are very sweet. They told me, see, this is how it'll be when you walk in a restaurant. It's not easy. It is not easy. Since I did not get 20 hours work there, I took up another job as a side gig. That side gig was basically hospitality jobs. Hospitality jobs in the UK are abundant. There are a lot of hospitality websites which I'll drop here. There's Evolve Hospitality, which is what I worked in. Then there's Arc. There are many more which I'll drop it down. I worked at Evolve. You basically get a simple form in their website. You just go fill in your name, your email address, your number, and your CV. That's it. I don't know, they usually hire, I think, in September and Jan, usually when the intakes happen. After 2 weeks I got a mail saying you've been selected. So we had like a class, like a workshop, where they taught us how you will, how to place plates, how to pour wine, how to communicate with people. It was really interesting. I mean, it's all so new, right? The wage rate in like hospitality sectors in general is a little higher. Football matches, it's usually higher. For award shows it's also higher, I think. Yeah, it depends on where you're working. You get to work in the F1 arcade, in hospitality sector. You get notifications whenever they need people for them to work. So what you get is, for example, if there's a football match happening, Birmingham and Manchester, so you get a notification saying that there's this match happening, we need people, this is the time that you work from, 9 to 5 or 10 to 5 or whatever, and this is the wage rate per hour. Wage rate is a little higher, I think. For football matches and all, like, I got like around 12.40 pounds per hour. Also the attire that you should be in, black shoes, black pant, white shirts. So they give you, like, it's mostly formal. You get the address that you should be at, the time that you should be there in, the date the event is gonna happen, and then you get yes or no. If you click no worries. If you're available, you can go. If you're not, you don't have to go. I didn't have to pay for the match or whatever. I just went and I saw people were cheering. It's such a good vibe over there. We work in the snack pod. So whenever there's a break, people come in and we serve them whatever they need. It's usually like drinks, beer, Coke, chocolates, chips, and fish and chips, pies and everything. You sign when you come in, you sign when you go out. So they see from what time to what time you've worked, and then every event that you attend in 2 weeks you get paid from the event date. So catch, if I work 5 hours over here and I work 15 hours in the regular part-time that I have, then it'll fulfill my 20 hours. But this does not happen every time, because sometimes you have 20 hours at work itself where you cannot accept this, or you have 15 hours at work and you won't get any events that's happening at Evolve. So yeah, that is my story. It was fun. I mean, it was fun to learn, and I think because I love cooking, I learned it really well, and by the end of the day I was really good at what I did. I decided that, when I go, I'm gonna just go find one and then I can go relax. So I think on the 10th day I found my first part-time in the UK. Everyone has their own priorities, and my priority was to find a part-time job, and maybe that's why I found one. Nobody would get that experience again. Right now I'm working full-time in India. I would never go back and work part-time in the UK, but it was such a good experience. And I think even though you're well off, or even though you do not want to work part-time, I think you should experience that at least once when you're a student, because you don't get that experience again in life. For all the September intake and all the January intake students, don't worry. If you really want it, you'll definitely get it, and I think everything else will fall in place for sure. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you all have any specific questions. I would love to answer. I'll come up with something that's gonna be helpful for all of you.